There is something happening inside your body right now that most people will never find out about until it's too late. Not because it's hidden, not because it's rare, but because the signs are so quiet, so ordinary, so easy to dismiss as just being tired, just getting older, just not sleeping well, that most people walk right past them every single day without a second thought. And I want you to stay with me for the next few minutes. Because what I'm about to share with you is not a scare tactic. It's not a gimmick. It's something I see in my practice more times than I can count. And it's something that, if you're over 40, if you've been feeling heavier than you should, foggier than you remember being, more inflamed, more sluggish, more just off, then this conversation is for you. My name is Sarah, and I'm a physician, one of the most underestimated organs in the human body. One of the most quietly suffering, most chronically overloaded organs that almost never gets talked about until something goes very wrong is your liver. Not your heart, not your lungs, your liver. And the reason I'm making this video today is because morning is when your liver is most ready to receive support. Morning is when what you put into your body first can either help your liver begin its detoxification work efficiently, or add another layer of burden to an organ that is already stretched far beyond what most people realize. So, let me ask you something. When was the last time you woke up and felt genuinely clear? Not just rested, but actually clear-headed, light in your body, without that low-grade puffiness or pressure behind your eyes, without that coating on your tongue, without that vague sense that something in your body is just not running right? If you have to think back a long time to remember that feeling, that's important. That's your body communicating something. Here is what most people don't understand about the liver. It is not just a detox organ in the way the wellness industry markets it. It is a processing plant that works every single hour of every single day. It filters your blood. It metabolizes medications, alcohol, hormones, and the byproducts of normal cellular activity. It produces bile, essential for digesting fat. It stores glycogen for energy. It regulates cholesterol. It manages proteins. It converts nutrients from food into forms your body can actually use. The liver performs over 500 known functions. 500. And it does all of this silently, with almost no direct pain receptors, which means by the time most people feel something wrong, the problem has usually been building for a very long time. The modern lifestyle has created what many clinicians now describe informally as a liver under siege. Processed food, alcohol, medications, environmental pollutants, excess sugar, sedentary behavior, chronic stress, and poor sleep all increase the metabolic load on the liver. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which develops in people who drink little to no alcohol, has become one of the most common liver conditions in the world, largely driven by diet and lifestyle. What's particularly alarming is how silently it develops. Most people with early-stage fatty liver have no symptoms. They feel fine, they go about their lives, and the liver just keeps quietly struggling. Now, I want to be honest with you. I'm not going to tell you that drinking a specific beverage in the morning will cure liver disease or reverse serious liver damage. That would be irresponsible. What I am going to tell you, based on solid nutritional science and clinical understanding, is that certain drinks consumed consistently, first thing in the morning, can genuinely support liver function, reduce oxidative stress, improve bile production, assist with the early phases of detoxification, and reduce inflammatory burden. These are not miracle cures. They are tools, and tools, used consistently and correctly, make a real difference. The first drink, warm lemon water. I know, you've heard it before. Maybe you've rolled your eyes at it. Maybe you tried it for 3 days, felt nothing, and stopped. I want to explain why that's worth revisiting, and why how you prepare it matters as much as whether you drink it at all. When you wake up in the morning, your body has been fasting for 7 to 9 hours. Your digestive system is in a kind of reset state. Your liver has been quietly working overnight, processing metabolic waste, managing hormone cycles, clearing what it can from your bloodstream. And when you drink something first thing in the morning, before coffee, before food, before anything else, you are setting the tone for your digestive and detoxification environment for that entire day. Warm lemon water works through several mechanisms genuinely supported by nutritional science. First, lemon is a significant source of vitamin C, which is directly involved in the synthesis of glutathione, one of the liver's most important antioxidants. Glutathione is sometimes called the master antioxidant, and that's not an exaggeration. It is central to the liver's phase 2 detoxification pathway, where the liver takes compounds it has already processed and makes them water-soluble so they can be excreted from the body. Without adequate glutathione, that process slows. Toxins and their metabolites can accumulate, and when they accumulate, the liver has to work harder to catch up. Second, the acidity of lemon juice mildly stimulates bile production. Bile is produced in the liver and stored in the gallbladder, and it is essential for fat digestion. But beyond fat digestion, bile also carries metabolic waste products out of the liver and into the intestine where they can be eliminated. Anything that supports healthy bile flow is, in a very real sense, supporting liver detoxification. Third, warm water itself supports motility in the digestive tract, which means it helps things move. When your gut moves well, waste is eliminated more efficiently, and that reduces the amount of work your liver has to do recirculating compounds from the intestine back into the bloodstream. This is a real process called enterohepatic circulation, and when it's working well, your liver is under less strain. How to prepare it? Squeeze half a lemon into 8 to 10 ounces of warm, not boiling, water. Do this within the first 15 minutes of waking up. Drink it slowly. Before coffee, before anything. If you do this consistently over weeks, you will likely notice changes in how your digestion feels, how your skin looks, and how clear-headed your mornings become. These changes are not dramatic overnight transformations. They are the quiet results of giving your liver what it needs to do its job better. Now, before I move to the second drink, I want to stop here and do something I do in every single video. And that's ask you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and to like this video right now, because the information I'm sharing here takes a lot of research to put together. And when you engage with it, you help me reach more people who genuinely need to hear this. And right now, in the comments below, I want to know 2 things. How old are you? And where in the world are you watching this from? I ask because this community is global, and knowing who is here helps me understand what topics matter most to you. So leave your age and your city or country below. I read every single comment, and if you have been feeling like your liver health, your metabolic health, your energy, your digestion, none of it is quite where it should be. If you feel like you need more than just a morning drink and you're looking for a structured, step-by-step approach to actually restoring liver function and clearing the metabolic burden that's been building up for years, then I want you to check the first link in the description of this video. Because what's there is not just information, it's a complete method, a real protocol, built around how the liver actually works, what it needs in sequence, and how to systematically reduce the load that's been quietly damaging it. And I'm going to be direct with you here. If you keep doing what you've been doing, if you keep waking up, skipping the things that support your liver, eating what you've been eating, moving as little as you've been moving, the damage that is building up doesn't wait. The liver is forgiving up to a point. But that point, once passed, is very hard to come back from. The method in that first link was built for people who recognize that. People who don't want to wait until the damage is visible. People who want to act before the window closes. It's there. It's specific. And it's exactly what I wish more of my patients had access to before things got serious. The second drink, green tea. This one surprises people when I bring it up, and then makes complete sense once I explain the science. Plain, unsweetened green tea, prepared simply without additives. Green tea contains a compound called EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, a type of catechin, which is a class of plant-based antioxidants. EGCG has been studied more extensively than almost any other naturally occurring compound for its relationship with liver health. Multiple peer-reviewed studies published in hepatology journals have examined EGCG's effect on liver fat accumulation, liver enzyme levels, and oxidative stress in liver tissue. The consistency of the evidence is meaningful. EGCG appears to reduce lipid peroxidation in the liver, a process where free radicals attack fat molecules in liver cells, causing cellular damage. This is one of the mechanisms by which non-alcoholic fatty liver disease progresses. Reducing lipid peroxidation means reducing that progression. Green tea also contains compounds that support the liver's phase 1 detoxification enzymes, responsible for the initial processing of toxic compounds. Think of phase 1 as the liver breaking things down, and phase 2 as the liver making those broken down pieces safe for excretion. Both phases need to work well. Both phases can be supported nutritionally, and green tea offers meaningful support for phase 1. If you consume green tea in the morning, ideally at least 30 minutes after your warm lemon water, on a mostly empty stomach, the absorption of its active compounds is meaningfully better than if you drink it with a full meal. This is the difference between casually drinking green tea sometimes and actually using it as a health tool. One important medical note: there are rare cases of liver toxicity associated with extremely high-dose green tea extracts in supplement form. This is not a concern with drinking 1 to 2 cups of normally brewed green tea, but it is a reason to stay at a reasonable amount, and to speak with your doctor if you are on medications that interact with CYP450 liver enzymes, as green tea can have mild interactions. I mention this not to alarm you, but because I believe in giving you complete information, not just the convenient parts. The third drink, turmeric and ginger water. This might be the most surprising of the three, and I think it's the one most of you are not doing at all. A warm drink prepared by steeping or boiling a combination of fresh or ground turmeric and fresh or ground ginger, with a small addition of black pepper, which I'll explain in a moment. The science behind curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, and gingerols and shogols, the active compounds in ginger, in the context of liver health is genuinely substantial. Curcumin has been studied extensively for its effects on liver inflammation, and inflammation is at the core of almost every chronic liver condition. Whether we're talking about alcoholic liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or liver toxicity from medications or environmental compounds, inflammation is part of the mechanism by which cells are damaged. Curcumin has well-documented anti-inflammatory properties that operate through several molecular pathways, including the inhibition of NF-κB, one of the primary cellular switches that turns on inflammatory processes in the body. It also appears to directly protect liver cells from oxidative damage, and some early human studies suggest it may support the reduction of liver fibrosis, the scarring process that leads to cirrhosis if left unchecked. However, I want to be honest about a real limitation. Curcumin has a well-known bioavailability problem. Your digestive tract does not absorb it efficiently on its own. The studies showing the most meaningful effects have often used highly concentrated extracts. Drinking a cup of turmeric water will not deliver the same dose, but this is exactly where black pepper becomes critically important. Black pepper contains piperine, and piperine has been shown in multiple studies to increase the bioavailability of curcumin by up to 20-fold. That is a real, well-documented effect. When you add a small pinch of black pepper to your turmeric drink, you are meaningfully improving how much of the active compound your body can actually use. This is not a myth. This is chemistry. Ginger has its own independent liver-supportive properties. Gingerols and shogaols have demonstrated anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects in human and animal studies. There is also good evidence that ginger supports bile flow, which means it supports the liver's ability to move processed waste out of the cell and into the digestive tract for excretion. Ginger also supports digestive comfort generally. And for many people, having a gentle, warming digestive aid first thing in the morning is meaningful for how their gut functions throughout the rest of the day. To prepare this drink, combine a half teaspoon of ground turmeric or a small piece of fresh turmeric root if you have access to it, with a similar amount of fresh or ground ginger in about 10 ounces of hot water. Allow it to steep for 5 minutes. Add a small pinch of black pepper. You can add a small amount of honey if the flavor is too strong, but keep the sugar minimal. Drink it slowly, and give yourself a moment to sit quietly with it before your day begins. Now I want to circle back to something important. There are people watching this video right now who are beyond the stage where morning drinks and lifestyle adjustments are going to be sufficient on their own. People who have been carrying elevated liver enzymes for years. People who have been told they have fatty liver and haven't done anything concrete about it. People who are on multiple medications that are known to stress the liver. People experiencing persistent fatigue, abdominal bloating, difficulty losing weight around their midsection, and subtle skin changes. For those people, what I've described today is a starting point, not an end point. And this is why I want to emphasize again that the first link in the description of this video exists for you. What you'll find there is not more general tips. It's a structured, sequenced protocol that addresses liver health at a deeper level. One that takes into account the actual stages of liver detoxification, the nutritional cofactors each stage requires, and the lifestyle interventions that have the most evidence behind them for restoring function and reducing accumulated damage. I want to be direct about something. Every week you wait. Every week you continue putting burden on a liver that is already under stress is a week of compounding. The liver is remarkably resilient, but resilience has limits. I've seen patients who thought they had more time and found out they didn't. I've seen blood work that looked manageable become something far more serious within a year. The window for making a real difference is open right now, but it won't stay open indefinitely. The link is there. It's specific, it's actionable, and it was designed for people who are serious about not waiting until the window closes. Let me close with a framework I want you to carry with you. Think of your liver as the body's filtration headquarters. Everything goes through it. Everything. And the more you load it, the less efficiently it can do its 500 jobs. When it starts underperforming even slightly, the effects ripple out across your entire body in ways you might not connect back to the liver at all. Your hormone balance, your blood sugar regulation, your energy, your skin, your ability to think clearly, your digestion. All of it runs through the liver in some way. When the liver is burdened, these systems degrade. When the liver is supported, they function better. A practical note on the order of these drinks. Start with warm lemon water, the gentlest and most immediately hydrating. Then, about 30 minutes later, have your green tea before your coffee. Green tea has caffeine, but in lower amounts than coffee, and it contains L-theanine, an amino acid that moderates the stimulant effect and produces a calmer, more focused alertness. Then, later in the morning, the turmeric and ginger preparation works well as a final morning ritual before your day is fully underway. And I want to leave you with one simple self-observation tool. Look at your tongue in the morning before you brush your teeth or drink anything. A healthy tongue is generally pink, moist, and relatively clean. A thick white or yellowish coating, particularly in the middle or back of the tongue, can be a sign that your digestive system is under stress. This is not a diagnostic tool, but it's something I've found useful as a simple daily observation. When patients begin making changes to their morning routine, their diet, their hydration, and sleep, many notice their morning tongue gradually becoming cleaner over weeks. It's a small, visible signal that something is changing. And sometimes, that kind of visible feedback is what keeps people consistent. If you've recognized yourself in the patterns I've described today, if you've realized you've been normalizing symptoms that might be your liver asking for help, then walk away from this video with one thing above everything else: action. Not tomorrow. Today. Start with the warm lemon water tomorrow morning. Just that. 1 cup, half a lemon, warm water, 15 minutes after waking up, before anything else. And build from there. Health does not require perfection. It requires consistency. And consistency starts with one small, deliberate choice, made repeatedly, until it becomes part of who you are. Your liver has been working for you every single day of your life, silently, without complaint, doing 500 jobs so that you could live without having to think about any of them. The question isn't whether it deserves your support. The question is how much longer you're going to wait to give it. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. Please subscribe to this channel and like this video right now, because the more you engage, the more I can reach people who need this information. And take care of your liver. It's taking care of you every single day.